All right. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. This is how I choose to start my broadcast today. I choose to say thank you to everybody who will be joining this live broadcast. Today, we are here to give you all of the latest concerning the English Premier League that is going on right now. And also, it's a Manchester United fan channel. And today, we'll be talking about Manchester United and everything related to Manchester United. We hear a lot of news. Manchester United transfer news and transfer gossip also is there. So first of all, we have to start with some very important news about Manchester United. It is said that the Glazers and Ineos, the people who are in charge, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Mama Berada, Jason Wilcox, and Christopher Vivel all are in tune and have agreed that Manchester United will be getting a manager on permanent basis before the World Cup. This was reported by the Manchester Evening News. Yes, they said it. They reported it yesterday that Manchester United bosses have agreed to hire a permanent manager before the World Cup commences. So that clearly means that Manchester United in itself will be ruling out a lot of potential, a lot of potential Manchester United managers. Yes, that is what we are hearing right now, because it is said that Manchester United will not want a situation whereby we'll be waiting for the World Cup to be over and then start then maybe go into a bidding war, a fighting war for who becomes Manchester United permanent manager. And so for this reason, Manchester United have decided to go for a manager right before the World Cup begins. And I'm going to say this clearly. Because Manchester United will be going into this right before the World Cup resumes, then it means that some of the big names that we've been hearing, will not actually, some of the big names we'll be hearing will not actually be involved, because we know that there are a lot of managers who are, involved with countryside football. Yes, and if anything is to go by, we've heard names like Thomas Tuchel, we've heard names like Carlo Ancelotti, we've heard names like Mauricio Pochettino, and also the German head team coach Julian Nagelsmann. So we've heard that all of these guys are actually involved or have been mentioned by Manchester United hierarchy. Also, it is no news that Manchester United also have been looking at young coaches like Cesc Fabregas. Also, we have also another young coach being looked at. I think the Olympic Marseille boss, Roberto Di Zerbi. And also we are looking at some industry specialists. A lot of names have been mentioned in the EPL, Andoni Raiola and all of that. But then if we look at the top bosses right now, the Massimiliano Allegri, the Cesc Fabregases and all of those things, then you know that Manchester United will be having a lot of data to actually review before we probably go in to get a manager on permanent basis. So if we go by what the news is saying, that Manchester United will be getting in an interim manager before the World Cup resumes. That means coaches like these coaches right now will not be in the fray. Yes, coaches like Thomas Tuchel, because Thomas Tuchel right now is the head coach for the English national team, and also Mauricio Pochettino will be leading USA, United States of America, to the World Cup. Carlo Ancelotti will be leading Brazil to the World Cup, and Julian Nagelsmann will be leading Germany to the World Cup. So when we look at all of these players, all of these people, Julian Nagelsmann, Carlo Ancelotti, Mauricio Pochettino, and Thomas Tuchel, we know that if Manchester United will be announcing a head coach before the start of the World Cup, that means all of these guys have been ruled out, and that will leave us with some other coaches like Roberto Di Zerbi from Olympic Lyon. We will have the Como manager, Cesc Fabregas will be there. Maximiliano Allegri will also be open for a move. We also know that in all of these coaches, with the one name that is actually the very influential name right now will be the PSG coach, Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique right now will be the only manager that will actually come in to be, and then maybe Manchester United hierarchy will be looking at giving him the job. Luis Enrique, for me, is the high profile manager for me that might just take over Manchester United. That is for me the name that will be able to take over Manchester United if all of these other managers are not available. So Luis Enrique for me will be that man to take over the job as long as I am concerned. Yeah, he's the only manager right now that has that pedigree to take over the job from Michael Carrick, because for me, if it is the Manchester United board are also very scared of actually inviting Luis Enrique. You know, they are very scared about getting a manager like Luis Enrique, or maybe going in to interview him, because there is a feeling that he might just decide to commit his future to PSG. There is a feeling that he might just decide to commit his future to PSG, and that might not go down well with the Manchester United hierarchy. And I presume that is why they are not keen, and they are not looking at him properly, because they might just presume that he might just be one of the guys that maybe be committing his future to PSG. When we look at Luis Enrique and PSG, you would agree with me that he's won everything at the club. And sometimes these coaches become bored at the club. They just want to try something new elsewhere. That is what I think, because if we actually take to account all of the things the Manchester United board will be looking at, I will be looking at a lot of players. We'll be looking at a lot of coaches, and that these coaches are going to be very instrumental, and their data will be very instrumental to how Manchester United will want to appoint them. And for me, I'm going to be looking at these guys, because one thing for me, when it comes to appointing managers, I am not keen on appointing a very big manager. I'm not keen at appointing a manager that is so big, that is so huge, that have maybe won the Champions League and all of that. Listen, for Manchester United, the Premier League comes first. Winning the Premier League is one of the most important things for Manchester United, and we cannot guarantee that any manager coming from abroad will just be able to do it. I can name a very few managers that have come from abroad and has been able to do it in England. Very few managers here, they have dominated England when it comes to when we come to managers who have the pedigree to take over a Manchester United Football Club. It is, if you agree with me, Manchester United head coach is one of the most difficult jobs to do in the world. Yes, it is one of the most difficult jobs, because I'll tell you that for free, the scrutiny on a Manchester United manager is way above what you have for any other manager in the Premier League. Yes, the Manchester United have a lot of people looking at the Manchester United manager. Well, we have the media, We have other fans. We have Manchester United fans demanding so much. So I would not practically say because Luis Enrique has won everything that is there to be won in France, then maybe he might just be the man for the job. Because I've seen managers come in from Spain and have not been able to replicate success in England. Especially, let's look at Unai Emery. Unai Emery with has done have actually managed as Arsenal. From Arsenal, he's managed Aston Villa, and up until this moment, even right now, Unai Emery looks like a manager that might be relinquishing that third position to Manchester United before the end of this weekend. Yes, and we will talk about Manchester United and everything that we have to do this weekend. The game against Newcastle, the game against Crystal Palace. But then we have to discuss. We have to go through this our managerial problem first. Now, when we take a list of coaches who are available, who might be available, considering the news reported by Manchester Evening News, if we take a stock of coaches who are available, we will know that there are no many big names out there, right? I don't think that Massimiliano Allegri will be one name. Then maybe the former Inter Milan coach. What is his name? The former Inter Milan coach, Maldini, yeah, Maldini, yeah, and then Giuliano Spalletti, the former Napoli coach. You see all of these managers, Giuliano Spalletti is right now is managing Juventus. Then we have another manager managing after, and then Tottenham has gone to bring in Igor Tudor to come and manage them. So if we look at it in the market right now, there are no top managers out there because the top managers like Zinedine Zidane, I don't think Zinedine Zidane wants to come to England. Then if we move from Zinedine Zidane, Don Carlo Ancelotti have been in England before. He's managed Chelsea and he's won the Premier League with Chelsea. And when we talk about Jurgen Klopp has since described Manchester United as a very difficult job, and he would not want to get himself in that position. Also, when we look at another manager who might also be out there, maybe with the Premier League experience, we talk about Mauricio Pochettino. But Pochettino right now is tied with the American national team. And then we talk about Julian Nagelsmann. For me, I think that Julian Nagelsmann shouldn't be in that conversation because for me, he's not got the experience as a manager to win something for Manchester United. He's only won the Bundesliga. Julian Nagelsmann has only won the Bundesliga. And when we look at the Bundesliga and look at Vincent Kompany winning it also, then I think that the Bundesliga is just a one-horse race. Yes, it is a one-horse race. Every other team just comes there to just mark register. Dortmund has not been able to rival Bayern Munich. Not Bayer Leverkusen. These are teams that maybe in 10 years they win the Bundesliga once and then they go off the air. It is still Bayern Munich. When we look at what's his name? When we look at Vincent Kompany, what he did with Burnley, Vincent Kompany practically relegated Burnley, and he's gone to Germany to win the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. Well, I'm not going to discredit Vincent Kompany. I'm not going to take away his talent and what he's done. He's with Bayern Munich, but I am not going to tell you that Vincent Kompany has the pedigree to actually come in and take over Manchester United. So all of these guys, Julian Nagelsmann, Vincent Kompany, Joachim Low, I think that they are all specialists in Germany. And aside from Germany, I don't think that they could give Manchester United anything more. So that is it for me. So in the managerial aspect, I'm going to say this clearly, that I think that Manchester United will do well with appointing Michael Carrick for sorry for the break in transmission. Yeah, sorry for the break in transmission. We had some technical difficulties, but right now we are good. So yes, we were talking about Manchester United and our coaching department, and we've been trying to say that it will be better off Manchester United looking at Michael Carrick and giving him the job on a permanent basis, because we don't think that I don't think that it is actually going to make a lot of sense when we don't have a lot of elite managers out there. Then we know we go and pick up a manager just like we've done with Ruben Amorim to give him the job at Manchester United. I don't think that would be the right thing to do. For me, I feel like it is very important that we look at the data of most of these coaches. A coach like Julian Nagelsmann actually has nothing he has done exceptionally. So his name cannot be there as an elite coach, because if we look at what Julian Nagelsmann has won as a manager, he's only done that with Bayern Munich. And like I said, we can also say the same for Vincent Kompany. Vincent Kompany was a coach that worked with Burnley, relegated Burnley from the Premier League, and went off to Germany to lift the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. If you look at it, that actually feels like an easy job to do, go off there, win with Bayern Munich, because it looks like a one-horse race in the German Bundesliga. And when you look at most of the players that are coming in from Germany, of German descent, when you look at most players of German descent coming in from Germany, then you practically understand why I don't think that getting a coach from Germany to Manchester United will be the best port of call. Because let's talk about Jurgen Klopp. Came to England, Liverpool, and it took him awful 5-6 years to win the Premier League, and after that he did not even come second. He did not even come second after winning the Premier League. So I don't think that we can call Jurgen Klopp an elite coach in the English Premier League. I don't think so. We cannot put Jurgen Klopp ahead of in the Premier League. You cannot put Jurgen Klopp ahead of what's it called? Ahead of Mikel Arteta. You cannot. Because for me, he's won the Premier League once, and that's the only reason why Jurgen Klopp will be up there. He's won the Premier League just once, won the Champions League once, with Liverpool. No dominance at all in the English Premier League. And I think that with Mikel Arteta have come second on maybe 3 occasions, right? And this season, he's struggling again, but Mikel Arteta has managed to be consistent, with his level and where he's gotten to. So I'm not going to say that Jurgen Klopp is an elite coach that maybe Manchester United should be looking at him. I don't think so. I'm not going to say that. I don't believe so. As long as we have a manager like Pep Guardiola still in the Premier League, I think that every other coach is there, right? Is there. So, but then that is it with the coaching saga for Manchester United. Let us go into the game between Manchester United and Crystal Palace. We are going to, well, as we have to say, Crystal Palace in their last 5 games have actually won 2. They've lost 2 and they've drawn 1. While Manchester United have won 4 out of our 5 last games, right? Beautiful. And going into the game against Crystal Palace, Manchester United will be the team with the momentum. Manchester United will be the team that has that power, the ability right now. We will be looking at making a statement, because what's it called? Because Aston Villa last night, Aston Villa dropped points. That is one thing that that is something that a lot of Manchester United fans were not actually privy to. Last night, Aston Villa dropped points against Aston Villa dropped points against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yes, they dropped points against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and that actually is one thing that a lot of us we'll be looking at. Yeah, dropping Aston Villa dropped points against Wolverhampton Wanderers last night, and I think that it gives Manchester United the ability or the opportunity to get into that third position. Yes, Manchester United have that opportunity to get into the third position because Aston Villa had dropped points. And when we look at it, if Manchester United is able to win if Manchester United is able to get a win against Crystal Palace tomorrow, then we might just get into that top three on goal difference. I'm going to pull up the English Premier League, the English Premier League table right now. I'm going to put it up on the screen so that most of us will be able to have a look. Let most of us have a look where Manchester United is and on the table, and given that Manchester United is in a promising position. Yeah, Manchester United is in a promising position, and we might just be looking at going into that third position. Yeah, we might just be looking at going into the third position for we might just be looking at going into that third position if we are able to get a win over Crystal Palace. Yes, we want to pull up this on your screen so that you can get to see what I'm trying to talk about here. We can, so that you can at least get to see what I'm talking about. Yes, this is the EPL table, and this is the EPL table, and Manchester United is 11 when you look at the goal difference. Manchester United is 11 on with the goal difference. We are on points. Manchester United is 48. Aston Villa is 51, and Aston Villa have one more game played than Manchester United. So looking at this, if Manchester United plays their next game and they are able to get a win over Crystal Palace, it means that Manchester United will be 51 points. And then when you come to the goal difference, Manchester United already is ahead of Aston Villa in goal difference. So Manchester United will be able to climb into the third position, and that will mean that that will give us an edge, And so if we are able to climb into that third position, it gives us even further space from Chelsea, you get. And knowing that Aston Villa has lost to Wolverhampton Wanderers, we know that Chelsea will be doing everything to get into the top four. So now it becomes a very interesting setup. It becomes a very, very interesting setup, and it looks like Manchester United will be Manchester United will be the team that might just be everything will be looking at favoring Manchester United right now. Every other thing will be looking at favoring Manchester United because Chelsea will be playing Arsenal. And I hope that they draw. I just hope that they draw. And then if Chelsea is able to get to draw against Arsenal, it gives us much more space again. Then Chelsea, Aston Villa. If Chelsea beats Aston Villa, Manchester United can now sit in the third place comfortably, knowing that we are far off from Chelsea and Aston Villa, and we might just be looking at coming close to Manchester City. So Manchester City, on the other hand, have to win all of their games right now that Manchester United is on their tail. Look at it. If you look at it in every circumstances, however you want to look at it, it's all in favor of Manchester United. Yes, it's all in favor of Manchester United, and I'm going to be here to enjoy all of it. When we look at the games going on today, we have Liverpool, West Ham United. Liverpool actually is on cruise control right now. They are 4-2 ahead of. There are 2 goals on aggregate ahead of West Ham. West Ham is just trying to get back into the game, and they are just trying to get back into the game. West Ham, it is 4-2 Liverpool, and then other elsewhere in other places. Yes, X Factor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in. So every other thing that we are going to be witnessing in this in the Premier League this weekend might just be in favor of Manchester United. Every other thing might just be in favor of Manchester United. We know that tomorrow we'll be having the North London derby, and it is one of the games where a lot of Manchester United fans will be looking at, hoping that we do something, with the North London derby. The question is, who are you going to be supporting? Who are you going to be supporting in the North London derby? Who are you going to be supporting? Which team? Because right now, as a Manchester United fan, I am only going to be hate watching. I am only hate watching. I don't have any team I am supporting. I am going to be hate watching on both Arsenal and both Chelsea. Yes, I'm going to be hate watching on both of them. So whichever of them chooses to come out good, whatever they want to do, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that as a Manchester United fan, the both of them actually draw that game. That is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the both of them actually draw that game, because that will be the only way Manchester United will, as a Manchester United fan, I'm going to be happy. That's the only way I'm going to be happy for both of them, that the two of them actually goes ahead to draw the match. If the two of them draw, I am going to be happy for the two of them. Yes, that is it. That will be it for me. Chelsea, Arsenal, I don't expect any of them to actually win the match. A draw for both teams will actually be very, very good for me. That is it for Chelsea, Arsenal. And I think that they have, as we were talking, Liverpool has gone 5-2 on West Ham. This is the same West Ham United that we actually were struggling against. Now they've come to Liverpool. They've come out to Liverpool to actually play against Liverpool, and now they are being taken to the dry cleaners. It is a 5-2 walloping by Liverpool against West Ham. So let's see what happens between Chelsea and Arsenal tomorrow. I want to analyze this game, the game between Chelsea and Arsenal, and hopefully we can actually look at some of the things that maybe might just be in favor of Manchester United. I want to analyze the Chelsea Arsenal game. Arsenal will be hosting Chelsea at home. Yeah, Arsenal will be hosting Chelsea. Arsenal will be hosting Chelsea in the Premier League at home, right? Arsenal will be hosting Chelsea. What is going on here? I'm having difficulties. I'm having technical difficulties right now, and I'm trying to see if I can sort it out myself. Arsenal will be hosting Chelsea at home, and that would mean, okay, good. Let's see what happens from here. I'm sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. Sorry for that. Let me see if I can get it in the folder. All right. So, okay. I can put it down here. Oh my God, this place is filled up. Oh, this place is filled up. But then, anyways, let us just go ahead. Manchester United fans. Wow. Okay, I don't know. I think maybe it's refusing to come on. So, but let us discuss Arsenal versus Chelsea. we know that Arsenal have a very, very good midfield. Yeah, don't we know? We know that Arsenal has a very, very good midfield. The midfield is top notch. They are on top of their game. Also, we know that Chelsea with Moise Caicedo, with Chelsea has Enzo Hernandez, Moises Caicedo, and also Chelsea have Cole Palmer. While Arsenal have a midfield of Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and I think either Matt Nodegaard or they have Eberechi Eze. And we know that the last time out, Eberechi Eze was superb, you know. So most of this, the midfield will be a very, very important area of the pitch in this game between Arsenal versus Chelsea. And I also want to look at some of the key players to watch out for. Some of these key players to watch out for, players like or Madueke. Yeah, I think that Madueke will make his presence felt in the game against the game against Chelsea. You know, he actually has been a player that left Chelsea and then went to join Arsenal. And against Chelsea, he would want to make his game be felt. And also, I'm thinking about who's going to start between Madueke and Saka, and who's been more effective, in play. I think that Madueke has been very, very Madueke has been shiny. Madueke has been one of those players whom have come in and tried to make himself known. Eze also has been a player that has gone into Arsenal and have actually started playing very well. A lot of time Arsenal fans are frustrated with the fact that most of the times the coach actually sits Eze on the bench to play what's his name? Martin Odegaard. But a lot of Arsenal fans believe that Eze actually gives more flexibility, more dynamism to the Arsenal style of play, much more than Martin Odegaard. I think that Eze is more direct, than Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard mostly looks like the kind of midfielder that prefers to go left or right. He prefers to go sideways, and I see that his combination play with Saka most of the times is very, very lethal. His combination play with Saka, I think that is very, very lethal most times. So for me, I think that Saka and Odegaard works out very well. But again, I think that Eze in that middle of the park works out with every other person. With Victor Gyökeres, with Trossard, with Martinelli, with Madueke, with Saka. He works out. That is Eze. Eze works out with every other person. And so I think that Eze would be much more for me likely to play. He's likely to play ahead of Martin Odegaard, whom I think have not been in the best of form this season. He's not been out up there. He's not been out there. So a lot of times I just feel like, man, it's not Martin Odegaard has not given Arsenal a lot this season. So then again, Arsenal, for me, I know that they find it difficult to break down a compact defense. I think that Arsenal finds it difficult to break down a compact defense. They don't do that easily, and this is sometimes the reason why you see them deciding to tilt towards they decide to tilt towards securing set pieces, and they make set pieces as another avenue for them to score goals, right? And it is actually very, very poor whenever you look at it. A team like Arsenal, who is actually looking at winning the league, making set pieces the best way for them to get goals actually is abysmal. Yeah, it's abysmal for me, because I for one, I would have loved to see my team play very well, dismantle defenses, get into the play, 1-2 passes, make the passes a lot more faster, make the passes a lot more cleaner. I thought that is what I would be seeing with Arsenal, but then I see them struggle to break down a well-structured defense, and then most of the times you see them relying on set pieces to actually get goals. And I feel like that style is not sustainable. It's not a style that can actually sustain Arsenal. Is not a style that can actually sustain Arsenal FC. And over time, it has shown that they've not been good enough, to compete in the Premier League. They are on top of the league right now, and we know that as Man City has an outstanding game, and we know that if Man City goes ahead to win all of their games, including their standing, then it will be. I think the gap will be cut down to 2 points, and we don't know what Arsenal will be able to play against Chelsea. So you see, like everything tilts towards against Arsenal in this moment in time. But at the end of the day, the league is still theirs to lose. That is it for me. The league is still theirs to lose everything, but it does not look good for them because of the kind of game we've seen them play. It's not looking good for them, but it's still theirs to lose because maybe they have 2 points ahead, and until Man City plays their games, we will never know. So that is it. So guys, that is it for Arsenal, and that is it for Arsenal Chelsea for me. And also, what else are we going to be discussing on this live broadcast? We've discussed about Manchester United. We've discussed about our coaching problem. Also, we've discussed about our potentiality of going into the third position by tomorrow. By this time, we already know the fate of Manchester United. Yes, by this time, we would have been able to know that, okay, this is where Manchester United is. We have Crystal Palace. We are going to be playing against Crystal Palace that that are not really in a good form right now. Crystal Palace is not in a good form. They have a lot of things against them, and also we know that they have one of the fastest fastest in the league. Yeah, Jean-Philippe Mateta, and also I know that they have Sa. Yes, I know that they have Sa in there. These are a few decent players with Crystal Palace. Also, we look at their midfield line. In the midfield they have Adam Wharton, they have Hughes, and they have one other player. I can't remember his name now. These guys are actually good on their day, but Manchester United poses a lot more threat in the midfield. The like of Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and Kobe Mainu. And also, when you look at Manchester United attack against their defense, I think Manchester United have a lot more fluid attack, with the likes of Cunha, the likes of Mbuemo, the like of Ahmad. Those guys are very fluid. They can interchange. They can walk in between spaces, and that is actually one of the strongest power points, for Manchester United in the attack. Matheus Cunha gives Manchester United attack a different kind of dynamism. If we look at the way Manchester United played previously, with Dogu, Ahmad, and Mbuemo in front. The coach came out yesterday to say it clearly that there was no time Manchester United have actually played a false nine. Manchester United plays Mbuemo as the number 9, not a false 9. And most of the times, we see that Mbuemo has not been the guy to actually win loads of duels. Whenever the ball goes long, Mbuemo has not been that guy that wins loads of duels. So it affects Mbuemo negatively because most of the times when the ball go high up there, he's being dispossessed. But when we look at Crystal Palace, their best defender has been taken away from them. Yes, which is McGahey. McGahey has left Crystal Palace to Manchester City, and that is a very, very important. That was a very important move for McGahey. But then that leaves Crystal Palace with one of their most important players out, and that gives Manchester United an edge going into this game because if we had played Crystal Palace previously, we've won them. We've beaten them before 2-1. Yes, I thought that we beat them somewhere around December 2-1, and now they are coming to Old Trafford. We have Old Trafford faithfuls. We have our boys in top form. We have a lot of things to play for. We are looking at getting into the third position. Everything is working, like everything looks in favor of Manchester United. So for me, I think that we are poised to get the 3 points tomorrow and then get into the third position in the Premier League table. So that is that for me on this broadcast today. I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined the broadcast. I'm glad that you guys joined. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you guys in my next broadcast, maybe later tonight. See you guys again. Bye-bye.